Hello everyone! It is time for another Jedi Unlock video. In this video we are going to be talking about Phase 3-2, The Village. This might be a long video because this is a big one. Okay, so you finished Phase 3-1 and you find yourself in the village. So what do you do now? Okay, so you have to understand some things, right? The important thing to do now is to plan out how you want to build your skills in the village phase. The village is always in a 4-phase cycle. Depending on when you arrive, it will depend on what part of the cycle you are in. It will take you a minimum of 6 weeks to leave the village because each phase of the village lasts 1 week and you need to complete 6 rows of skills, or should we say branches of the tree, in order to exit the village. So more on that in just a second. So here we have note. This is very important to understand right here. You can only do 1 quest per village phase. So that means 1 quest a week, since each phase of the village is a week. Since you need 6 rows or 6 branches of skills, that means 6 weeks minimum in the village. Okay, let's say you arrive in the village in phase 1 and you can only do 1 quest per phase. You have to decide which quest you want to complete. This 1 quest will unlock 1 row or branch of skills in a skill tree. I have to make a fix there. I have 1 skill try, that's skill tree. For example, during phase 1, you can decide to do a quest for Captain Sorgulio, if I said that right. Completing that quest will unlock the ranged accuracy line. So you'll notice I have a picture here. This is combat prowess, and then the first branch here, or this first line, is ranged accuracy. That's what gets unlocked when you do the first quest, or should I say 1 quest for phase 1, okay, with Captain Sorgulio. Now that you have unlocked that line or branch of skills, you can use the correct force sensitive XP to purchase that whole line of skills. That's 1 line of the 6, or 1 branch of the 6 branches you need to exit the village. So I hope this is making sense so far. So now, instead of doing the quest for the captain, you decided you want to do the quest for Whip in phase 1. Okay, so now instead you do your 1 quest for Whip during phase 1, you would unlock the survival line of enhanced reflexes. You can use the correct force sensitive XP to purchase that whole line of skills. That's 1 line of 6 you need to exit the village. So you'll know in phase 1, when you do the quest for Whip, it unlocks survival. So you will be able to fill in this line of survival. Again, that's 1 of your 6. Depending on your profession and what you are trying to unlock, it will depend on which quest you pick per phase. So planning this out ahead of time will surely be helpful. Now, these 2 pictures I have here are the 2 unlocks for basically combat skills. So combat prowess or enhanced reflexes. You're going to be turning in combat XP for these. If you're a crafter or an entertainer, you'll be doing different quests in the village, but it works the same way. When you finish a quest, it unlocks a line of skills that you can invest your force sensitive XP into. Okay, so I'm going to warn you right here. you do not have to surrender your skills. Okay, so it says, do you have to surrender your skill points to purchase these lines? Yes and no. Yes, if you want to purchase them right away, but you don't have to. So that would be no. Before exiting the village, you will have to, but not before. So just because you unlock the tree does not mean you need to surrender your normal skills, your skill points, to purchase these Jedi skills, okay? You don't have to do that until you're ready to leave the village. So before exiting the village, you have to do it, okay? Just because you have unlocked the skill lines does not mean you have to use your Force-sensitive XP right away to fill them in. I suggest you wait until you are ready to exit the village before surrendering your skill points to purchase these new skills. So for example, I will be leaving the village with all of the ER skills. I say ER, that's Enhanced Reflexes, and 2 lines of CP skills, which is Combat Prowess, the Melee Accuracy line, and the Melee Speed line. Okay, so I want to exit with the Melee Accuracy and Melee Speed. That's if I have the patience to stay in the village longer than I actually need to. Okay? All right, so with that being said, so far, let's see. So entering the village during phase 1. So for me, I unlocked lines 1. Unlock the lines I want, sorry. I will need to be in the village for 7 weeks. So this is my example. So in phase 1, I did a quest for Whip. That's ER survival line. Phase 2 quest, Whip again, ER vehicle control line. Phase 3, Dejirin, ER ranged defense. Phase 4, Captain Sorgulio, ER melee defense. So you'll notice in the first 4 phases, I unlocked all the ER skills. So that unlocks the whole entire tree of enhanced reflex. So I can get the enhanced reflex master once I finish phase 4. Now cycling around again, I'll be doing phase 1 quest, Captain Sorgulio, CP ranged accuracy, which I don't want, so I need an extra week. That's if I want to stay in the village an extra week. I don't have to, but if I want to, I can. Phase 2 quest, Dejirin in combat prowess, melee speed. So I will get the melee speed. So you'll notice in phase 1, the second go round, ranged accuracy gets unlocked for me right here. And then phase 2 second go round, melee speed, which is right here. Now at that point, I can actually leave the village because that's 6 lines unlocked. If I want to stay in the village longer, I'm going to go with another week, which would be phase 3, Captain Sorgulio again, which is the combat prowess melee accuracy line, which is this line here. So depending on how patient I am is whether I'm going to stay in the village longer, which is 1 extra week, and get this line of skills instead of filling in this line of skills. Okay, so as you can see, I had to do phase 1, 2, and 3 twice to get the skills I want. That's if I want to stay in the village longer. So this completes my 6 lines of skills. Now I surrender my skill points and purchase the new skills so I can exit the village, but not before. Okay, so let's understand the XP. I will be banking 4,950,000 ER Force Sensitive XP. That's in Enhanced Reflexes Force Sensitive XP. Excuse me, I have a cold. Just had to get that cough out. And 2.5 million CP, which is Combat Prowess Force Sensitive XP, before surrendering my 24 skill points needed to fill the 6 lines of skills or 6 branches of skills I need to exit the village. So how do you get force sensitive XP? You turn in or convert normal XP, all the normal XP you've been earning in the game, for force sensitive XP at a specific ratio. Each type of normal XP has a different conversion ratio. So for example, weapon XP has a conversion ratio of 30:1. So when you head to the village to convert 1,200,000 weapon XP, the conversion is 40,000 force sensitive XP. Combat XP has a conversion ratio of 3:1. So 300,000 combat XP is worth 100,000 force sensitive XP. So to note, most of the time it's beneficial to be maxing out 300,000 combat XP so that you can get 100,000 force sensitive XP. Now, many people coming to the village think that they need to have skills where you can max out multiple weapons at a time. So maxing out, let's say your melee character, maxing out unarmed, two-hand, polearm, and one-hand. But it doesn't make sense because your combat XP will max out at 300,000 when you've maxed out 1,200,000 weapon XP. So you will be trying to get 1.2 million other weapon XP and just burning off normal combat XP at a conversion ratio of 3:1 to try to max out another weapon that has a 30:1 conversion ratio doesn't make sense. So you do not need to head to the village with multiple weapon skills so that you can max out multiple weapons. It doesn't make sense. You're just wasting combat XP to try to get more weapon XP. When the conversion ratio is 30:1, it's pointless. Okay, so don't bother trying to rework your template to get multiple weapon XP max outs because the conversion ratio is not worth it. Okay, so let's look at an example of filling in a line of skills. Let's say I want to fill in the ER survival line. Okay, that was here, the ER survival line, enhanced reflexes. Okay, let's see. Where was I? Okay, so turn in conversion ratio. That was conversion ratio. Let's look at the example of filling a line. Let's say I fill in ER survival. I need 50,000 ER force sensitive XP for the novice box, 175,000 enhanced reflex force sensitive XP for survival 1, 250,000 for survival 2, 350,000 for survival 3, and 450,000 for survival 4. That's a total of 1,275,000 force sensitive XP for the first line. And if you're filling more ER lines like vehicle control, each additional line will be 1,250,000 force sensitive XP. The master box is 0 force sensitive XP. So the whole ER tree will cost 4,950,000 force sensitive XP. So notice I typed ERFSXP and not just FSXP, meaning force sensitive XP, because each tree has its own force sensitive XP. So when you're turning in your normal XP for force sensitive XP, make sure you are converting it for the right type of force sensitive XP. So combat prowess would be combat XP, reflexes would be reflexes XP, and so on. For short, I would say ER for enhanced reflex or CP for combat prowess. Here, CP, ER, HS, CM. So heightened senses on crafting mastery. So that pretty much sums it up. When you get to the village, there's going to be 3 main NPCs there. One is going to be the village elder. That's going to get you going. But after your initial talk to the elder, you don't really need to talk to him much anymore. Next is the trainer. You will be talking to him to learn skills that you've completed the quests for. And then your third would be the NPC in the village that you're going to use to convert all of your normal XP to force sensitive XP. And when you talk to him, he will have a list of different types of force sensitive XP. So make sure you're selecting the correct ones. I'm not going to go into all the quests in this video, but you have the link to my website right here. If you want, you can look down through here. These are the list of quests per phases. Now, this was a lengthy video. I hope it all makes sense, and I hope it really helps you out when you get to the village. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, happy gaming, and I hope to see you in game.